guys, welcome back. It's great to have you. If you guys can do me a favor in this information war that we're having here, this information, if it doesn't get out to anybody, it doesn't do anybody any good. So if you guys can do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and also share it with 5 or 10 of your friends so we can get this information out. All right, so we're going to be talking about how to fight this. All right, so the way that we are trying to fight this is that there's two parts to this. Okay, we had routes that were available prior to this whole COVID-19, and the supervisors were fighting us as to putting these routes up. Well, it was in our personal opinion, we expressed this to our business agent that we should have had the time to, we should now have the time to bid those routes to allow those full-time drivers to win those. In the interim, allow those drivers to move up to these centers to temporarily help, and then when they win their bid, they come back, and then from there we pull from the full-time list. So we have now Mr. Jose Reyes has allowed me. It should be going up on the screen here soon. Has allowed me to post his grievance that he has put in for numerous routes that are in our particular center. All right. Next, we should be filing grievances. If you guys can do this today, we should be filing grievances on violation of seniority. And the reason why we should be doing this is because contract speaks and says that it's full-time drivers. Well, as you guys know, 224s and utility drivers, full-time utility drivers, are all considered full-time drivers. So therefore, they should be pulling from the very bottom of the poll up. All right, so if you guys can go ahead and fill out a grievance for violation of seniority and put it in, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I've spoken to individuals who are up in LA. These individuals had a year. They knew for a year in advance that something like this was coming down, and supposedly, from what I understand, everybody had their opportunity to make their adjustments. But us, we were kind of left in the dark. Our union supposedly only knew about a week or two ago, and they still failed to actually notify the members. So so let's go ahead and turn in those grievances and see where it goes from there. I also want to express that we spoke to our business agent, and there are a couple of things that I believe that we have that we are not exploiting, that we can actually use in our favor. One of them is that instead of sending our full-time drivers down, we already spoke about the 224s, but another win-win situation for everyone is to look into our transfers. We have individuals who want to transfer to these buildings, and I believe this is a perfect opportunity to use these transfers to fill in some of these gaps. Therefore, it's a win-win for everyone. The transfer gets the building that he wants to be in, and we also gain a driver to actually do the route in that area, and the full-time driver gets to stay in his area. This is a simple win-win. I believe if we brought this to the company and exercised this right, man, it would be awesome. But that's something that you may want to call your business agent or call your president and see if you guys can exercise that right. Also, we have cover drivers. We kind of spoke about this in the last video. We have cover drivers who want to become full-time drivers, or 224s, and or RCPD, which is a regular package car driver. We should be loosening some of those restrictions. And instead of carrying these people up to 29 days, we should actually relax some of these parameters that we have and start to bring in a high influx of these drivers to fill in those areas. This is something that the company could easily do. You just bring them in, you loosen them, and flip them. You can just actually flip those individuals. But for your air drivers, you can actually have them go through their 30-day progression, but relax some of these parameters. Your part-time workers and air drivers who want to become full-time drivers, just relax it and streamline and bring them in. So you can take your cover drivers and easily, on paperwork, just flip them into a full-time position. They would love to be in some of these centers, and therefore we don't have to move any of our utility. And you can also take part-time workers and full-time workers who want to come into these positions and relax some of the restrictions. This is an easy win-win. Using the transfers, using the cover drivers, just easily flipping them, and also bringing in part-time workers. It's easy to replace part-timers. We can bring in a whole lot of individuals who are looking to be hired during this whole COVID situation. And it's not going to be a loss at the bottom because they're being promoted. We can just hire more individuals off the street. So man, call your business agent, call your president, and see if they can actually speak to the company and bring this proposal up. So therefore, we can keep some of our utility drivers in our center. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I had an opportunity to speak to our business agent to speak about what is going on as far as the ratios in our center. For the past 3 years, we have been in a deficit to actually get drivers, and this individual supposedly has been fighting for 3 years and has been unsuccessful and has submitted the paperwork to the nationals, and I'm not sure if that's true or how long it takes up at nationals for them to come to an answer on this. But one of the things that really bothers me about this whole situation is that I personally feel that the company has found a loophole and duped our union into hiring drivers under this full-time clause, but they have no intentions on hiring any full-time drivers. And this is what I mean by this. You have your full-time drivers, and then you have your full-time utility drivers, and then you have what you'll consider a 224, which are all full-time drivers. 224s have no rights at all. And what I perceive that's going to be happening here is that the company is going to fill the gaps up with 224s. And how does that benefit them? The way it benefits them is because these drivers do not have any 9-5 rights, and they're full-time, and they can do whatever they want with these drivers, and they can pack the work on them as much as they want, as opposed to a full-time utility who actually has rights. All right. So one of the things that really bothers me is that our local union is allowing the company to take these drivers up to 29 days and train them up to 29 days, and then they do not allow them to pass. But they are now becoming this weird thing called a certified driver. And as a certified driver, they get to continue to drive for the company. Now, this should not be allowed. This is basically just allowing the company to, just stretch the contract as far as it can. And they're taking part-time individuals and giving them part-time benefits as far as their retirement is concerned. So you're allowing these individuals to do full-time work, and you're paying them very well. But in the interim, the long-term game is very horrible, because when that person gets ready to retire, forever how long they're going to be able to do this or exercise this right, they will only get part-time retirement. I just don't like it. So here we are. I believe the company's great move with all of this, as they get ready to move utility drivers up to San Diego, I believe that the company is going to take the vacancy, and they're going to fill it with either these certified drivers, right? Or 224s. They have no intentions on hiring, from my personal opinion, no intentions on hiring any type of full-time drivers anytime soon. There's no reason to do that because they are winning in these areas. So how to fight this? Man, it's a hard one to fight. It's a hard decision, because as a part-timer, when you see that much money, it's hard to say, no, I'm not going to do it. We'll have to be unified in this to say, no, I'm not going to do it. And that will put the company in a different situation to force these individuals, to force them to hire. And so it's kind of hard. So with that, I just wanted to kind of give you guys the insight as to what's going on and what I personally believe that the company's going to do and how they're going to exercise their rights within the contract. The hope here is that the union would stop allowing these individuals to use certified drivers. I'm not trying to hurt you guys, because I know you guys enjoy the money, but it's for the best for everyone, because you can now force the company and say, hey, look, stop taking these people up to freaking almost a term, and then not allowing them to pass, and then using them from there on. So, all right, you guys. Hopefully, this has been informational for you guys. Please share it. You guys are great. You're awesome. Have a great day.